So welcome to all of you Shiksha 360 CAP classes. So today we have to discuss set number 4, and that is basically belongs from the chapter number 28C. Students who have not gone through the chapter number 28C, first of all, kindly go through the chapter number 28C. Slides are already available in the group. In this session, we will try to discuss 10 questions. So let's start our discussion. So question number 20 presents on your screens now. Please tell fast what is the correct answer. The question what is say that the permitted scope of activities of a company can be verified by a bank by going through. Okay. The permitted scope of activities of a company can be verified by a bank by going through. Clear? So what, from where it is going through? Option number A, that is memorandum of association only. Option number B, that is article of association only. Option number C, that is memorandum of association and articles of association both. Option number D, that is a certificate of incorporation. Clear? Option number D here, that is the certificate of incorporation. Clear? So please tell fast. So what activities that a company can do? Clear? The permitted scope of the activities of a company can be verified by a bank by going through. Clear? So what will be the correct answer here? That is, it can be done basically by going through the memorandum of association only. Clear? Memorandum of association only. So option A will be the answer here. Clear? Option number A will be the answer here. Now let's little bit discuss regarding that. Regarding the memorandum of the association. So the first step, clear? The first step basically in the preparation of, in the formation of a company. Clear? The first step basically in the formation of a company, it is the preparation of the memorandum of association, which is described in detail in section 4. Clear? Which is described in detail in section 4 of the Companies Act 2013. Okay. The first step in the formation of the company, it is the preparation of, clear? Basically, it is the preparation of the memorandum of association, which is described in detail in section 4. Clear? Basically, which is described in detail in section 4 of the Companies Act 2013. Further, that is as per section 4.1, the memorandum of a company basically shall state. Clear? As per section 4.1, the memorandum of a company basically shall state basically what it states, that the name of the company. Clear? The name of the company with the last word. Clear? The name of the company basically with the last word limited in the case of a public limited company. Okay. So as per section 4.1, the memorandum of a company. Clear? The memorandum of a company basically shall state what is stated. The option number, that is the name of the company. Clear? The name of the company basically with the last word limited in the case of the public limited company, or the last word, that is private limited. Public limited, limited basically in the case of the public limited company, or the last words private limited in the case of the private limited company. Clear? Or last words private limited basically in the case of the private limited company. Provided that nothing in this clause shall apply to a company registered under section 8. Clear? Basically, provided that nothing in this clause. Clear? Provided that basically nothing in this clause shall apply to a company. Clear? Provided that basically nothing in this clause shall apply to a company registered under section 8. Clear? Shall apply to a company basically that is registered under section 8. Further, the second point here, the state in which the registered office of the company it is to be situated. Clear? This is also mentioned under the memorandum, that is the state in which the listed office. Clear? Basically, in which the registered office of the company it is to be situated. Clear? The state in which the registered office of the company basically it is to be situated. Further, the objects for which the company is proposed to be incorporated. Clear? Why basically this company is to be formed. Clear? That is also mentioned under the memorandum of the association. Fourth one, the liability of the members of the companies, whether limited or unlimited, etc., it is also mentioned under that. Fifth one, that is the next one, that is the purpose of the memorandum of association, among others, basically is to enable the creditors. Clear? Is to enable the creditors and those who deal with the company to know the permitted scope of its activities. Clear? And the person basically who deal with the company basically regarding what? To know the permitted scope of its activities. Next one, contents of the various clauses, clear, contents of the various clauses of the memorandum of association, clear, contents of the various clauses of the memorandum of association based on the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, clear, based on the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 are stated here under together basically with the brief of the provisions pertaining to that clause, clear. Just remember the basic points which we have discussed, that is what is the memorandum, that is basically of the objects for which the company is to be incorporated, clear, why the company is to be formed, this is also mentioned under the memorandum of association. Okay, and it also tells the liability of the members, clear, whether it is to be limited or unlimited. Okay, so all these things that we mentioned under the memorandum of the association. So basically it tells the permitted scope of the activities, clear, basically what it will do or what it will not do, clear. That is to be mentioned under the memorandum of the association only. Now move to the next one. So which of the following is not a correct statement in the context of a company, clear, which of the following basically it is not a correct statement basically in the context of a company. So please tell fast. Option number A, that is option number A, that is company cannot have a name which is in the opinion of the central government it is undesirable, clear, that is company cannot have a name basically which is in the opinion of the central government basically it is to be undesirable. Second one, company cannot have a name basically which is too identical which is too identical or similar to the name of the existing company. So first one, it is true or not, please tell fast. Not correct, we have to find that not correct. First one, it is to be correct one. Second one, it is also to be correct one, clear. So company cannot have a name which is in the opinion of the central government it is desirable, clear, this is correct. This one, it is also a public and private companies shall use the last word of there as to be limited, clear, shall use the last word of there as to be limited, clear. So this one we have also discussed. Please tell fast basically under which section this is mentioned, under which section we have discussed in the last one. That is as per the section 4.1, clear, all these things basically as per the section 4.1. So kindly please respond. Only after that basically these classes are beneficial. No need to like just please participate also. There cannot be name of a company without the use of the word limited, clear, basically there cannot be a name of the company basically without the use of the word limited, clear. Even there are some companies also basically there where there is no word without the use, clear, there cannot be, clear, even without the limited word there are also companies, clear. So option number D is to be the answer here, clear, option number D is to be the answer here. Okay. So that is regarding the name clause, clear, which we have discussed. So here we have to discuss regarding that name clause, clear. We know that the correct answer here is to be option number D. Now let's little bit discuss regarding the name clause, clear. So as we know that basically a company, basically what is that? A company, it is a legal person, clear. We know that basically what is a company? Basically a company, it is a legal person and hence it must have a name to be identified. So it must have a proper name basically for identification, clear. As a company, it is a legal person. So it has to be a definite name basically for to be identified. A company cannot have a name which in the opinion of the central government it is undesirable, clear. That is a company cannot have a name, clear, basically a company cannot have a name which in the opinion of the central government, clear, that is which in the opinion of the central government it is to be undesirable, clear, which in the opinion of the central government basically it is undesirable. A name is undesirable basically when that is a name is to be undesirable. First one, that is cannot have a name basically first one, that is which in the opinion of the central government it is undesirable. This is the same point which we have discussed in the question. Second one, a name is undesirable when it is identical, that is when it is same with or too nearly resembles the name of the another company. Let's say name is to be undesirable when it is same with the or too nearly resembles the name of the another company. Third one, if the company is basically with the limited liability, clear, if the company basically it is with the limited liability, so the last word of the name should be limited. And in the case of the private company, the last word basically should be private limited, clear. And in the case of the private company, the last word basically should be private limited. Further, however, the central government basically has powers to permit by license a company not to use the words private limited or limited as the case may be. Clear? So it depends upon the central government. Clear? Even they have the power basically to give this exemption. Clear? Basically to give this exemption basically to the companies that they are not required to use the word limited in their name. Clear? That they have no need to use the word limited in their name. Clear? So that is regarding our point number D. Clear? So they say that there cannot be a name of any company without the use of the word limited. So this will be wrong here. Clear? This will be wrong here. So basically, as the case may be, if the company is formed for the promotion of arts, clear? Basically, if the company it is basically formed for the promotion of arts, commerce, science, religion, charity, or any other useful objective, and the company intends to apply its income, if any, in promoting its objects and to provide the payment of any dividend to its members. In that case, also like there is an exemption to use the word dividend in their name. Clear? Not to use the word. Okay, so in all these cases, exemption is to be provided here. Now move to the next one. Next question here. Very easy question, but you are able to answer these questions only if you have gone through the theory very well. So a company is required. Clear here what we say that basically a company is required to give the notice of location, clear, of its registered office. Clear? A company is required to give the notice of the location. Clear? A company is required to give the notice of the location of its registered office. Clear? Basically of its registered office within dash days after its incorporation to the registrar of companies. Clear? So a company is required to give the notice of location of its registered office basically within how many days after its incorporation to the registrar of companies. 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, 60 days. Clear? 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, 60 days. Clear? The correct answer, clear, regarding its registered office, they have to submit that is basically within 30 days. Clear? Within 30 days after its incorporation to the registrar of companies. So this one will be the answer, that is within 30 days. Clear? Directly straightforward question. So now here I will discuss regarding the registered office clause. So this clause basically must mention the name of the state. Clear? Basically registered office clause. This clause basically must mention the name of the state in which the registered office of the company it is to be situated. Clear? In which the registered office of the company basically it is to be situated. It is to be noted here that the clear, it is to be noted here that the address of the registered office. Clear? It is to be noted here that the address of the registered office it is not to be mentioned. Clear? It is noted here that the address of the registered office basically it is not to be mentioned. Only the name of the state it is required to be mentioned. Clear here? That is only the name of the state. Clear? Address not, it is not noted that we cannot say that address is to be mentioned. Clear? Only the name of the state is required to be mentioned further. A company shall from the date on which it commences. Clear? A company shall from the date on which it commences business of or within 30 days. Clear? Basically from the date basically on which it is commences its business, or we can say that starts its business, or within 30 days. Clear? Or within 30 days after the date of incorporation. Clear? Or within 30 days basically after the date of incorporation, whichever is earlier. Have a registered office. Clear? After the date of incorporation basically whichever is earlier. Have a registered office to which all the communications and notices may be addressed. Clear? Have a registered office. Clear? Basically have a registered office to which all the communications and notices must be addressed. Clear? May be addressed. Notice of the situation of the registered office. Clear? Notice of the situation of the registered office. And if there is any change, clear, like they have changed their registered office, clear, from one place to another, so they have to be given intimation regarding that basically within 30 days. Clear? That is within 30 days. Okay. So kindly remember this also. Clear? Directly in the examination, they will ask these types of the question. Why I am discussing these questions in detail? Because in the examination, basically, if they ask case studies, clear, here there is not like we can say that we have to discuss the numericals. Clear? In the examination also, you will get theoretical based case studies. Clear? So you have to be little bit knowledge regarding all these things. That's why we will discuss all these questions in detail regarding that. Clear? Like after every question, I will discuss some of the information regarding that. Now move to the next point. Which of the following, clear, basically which of the following, it is an important feature of object clause in the memorandum of association. Clear, which of the following, it is an important feature of which clause? Of the object clause in the memorandum of association. Clear, object clause in the memorandum of association. We have to find that which one it is not correct here. Clear, which one it is not correct here. Clear, so objective clause. Clear, so this one it is the objective clause. So now let's discuss first of all choice of objectives. Clear, choice of objectives with the initial subscribers. Clear, the choice of objectives basically with the initial subscribers to the memorandum of association. A company has main objectives as well as other objectives. Clear, so basically this one it is true one. This one it is also clear, that is a choice of objectives is with the initial subscribers to the memorandum of association. Clear, basically it is with the initial subscribers to the memorandum of association. Third one, carrying on any other business. Clear, that is third one here, that is the carrying on any other business outside the scope of the object clause. Clear, carrying on any other business outside the scope of the object clause is unauthorized. Clear, carrying on any other business outside the scope of the object clause is unauthorized, called the caveat emptor. Clear, called the caveat emptor. Clear, so what is to be called as the ultra vires, which we have to cover later. Clear, so option number C will be the answer here. That is not correct, so option number C will be the answer. So now let's discuss regarding the object clause in the memorandum of association. Clear, so now let's discuss regarding that. So this is a very important clause. Clear, objective clause, basically this is a very important clause and must be drafted very carefully. Clear, and it must be drafted very carefully, and it should clearly state the objectives for which the company it is to be established. Clear, and it should clearly state the objectives for which the company is to established or incorporated, and the nature of business it can undertake or carry on. Clear, and the nature of business basically it can undertake or carry on. Further, choice of the objective. Clear, choice of the objectives is left with the subscribers. Clear, choice of the objectives basically it is left with the subscribers to the memorandum of association. Clear, choice of the objectives basically it is left with the subscribers to the memorandum of association who incorporate the company. Clear, who incorporate the company. That is whatever the object is. Clear, so basically it's depend upon the subscribers. Clear, to the memorandum of association who incorporate the company. Although the ownerships of the corporate capital. Clear, although the ownership of the corporate capital it is vested in the company itself. Clear, although the ownership of the corporate capital basically it is vested in the company itself. In reality, basically the capital it is contributed by the shareholders. Clear, although the ownership of the corporate capital. Clear, although the ownership of the corporate capital basically it is vested in the company itself. Clear, it is vested in the company itself. In a reality, the capital it is to be contributed by the shareholders. Clear, in a reality, basically the capital it is to be contributed by the shareholders. Further, it is therefore very essential that the objective of the proposed company must be intimated to the shareholders so that they can decide in which business areas they want to invest their money. Clear, in which areas. Clear, because only on the business, like if the company basically works in this field, they will be beneficial for them. Clear, or that is that there is more future scope. Clear, only on the basis of this understanding they will invest their money. Clear, only after these understandings basically they will invest their money. Okay, so further this is also mentioned here, that is a company can have any lawful objectives. This means that a company cannot have any objectives to carry on activities prohibited under the law. Clear, prohibited under the law. Clear, so they have to be follow only those objectives that has to be lawful. Clear, that has to be lawful. Clear, so the objective clause of the memorandum, of the memorandum of association of a company are to be classified and stated, clear, are to be classified and stated under two subclauses, clear, are to be classified and stated under two subclauses as the main clause and the other objectives, clear. First one as main clause, second one that is and other objectives, clear. So the main clause basically must contain the main objectives which are to be pursued by the company immediately on the incorporation, and objectives which are incidentally or ancillary to the attainment of the main objectives of the company. Okay, to the objectives of the main objectives of the company. Clear? So just remember that it is basically two subclauses. First one that is the main clause. Second one that is the other objectives. The main objectives basically clause must contain the main objectives, clear, which are to be pursued by the company. This is they have mentioned here, that is a company has main objectives as well as other objectives, clear. This one it is also true here. Okay, so I am again asking again and again, kindly go through the theory very well. Only after that basically you are able to answer the question further. Why I'm discussing these three clauses, clear? So because there is also confusion on the basis of that. Liability clause, capital clause, and the association or subscription clause, clear? Association or subscription clause. I will discuss here only the capital clause. In the case of the companies, please go try to understand this one, because after that you have to answer the question on the basis of that. In the case of the companies having a share capital, clear, that is companies basically having a share capital, this clause must state that the amount of share capital which the company will be authorized to raise and the number and the value of shares basically into which it is to be divided, clear, and the value and the number and the value, clear, and the number and the value of shares basically into which it is to be divided, that is basically comes under the capital clause, clear. So what is capital clause? That is in the case of the companies having a share capital, clear, in the case of the company basically having a share capital, this clause basically must state that the amount of share capital, clear, that the amount of share capital which the company will be authorized to raise, clear, which the company will be authorized to raise, and the number and the value of shares, clear, and the number and the value of shares basically into which it is to be divided, that is to be known under the capital clause, clear. So now let's discuss one question. So what the capital clause of the company should indicate, clear? What the basically meaning that the capital clause of the company basically should indicate? First one, the amount of the authorized capital only. The amount of the authorized capital only. Second one, that is the number of shares only must be given. Third one, that is the face value of shares only should be given, clear. The face value of shares only should also be given, clear. So please tell fast. Option number D, that all the above should be given, clear. All the above should be given, clear. Here we have already discussed in the previous slide also. What will be the correct answer? That is option number D will be the correct answer here. That is this one, that is amount of authorized capital only. Here this one will be wrong also. If, like here they mentioned word only, clear. But as per the other options, clear, in every option they mentioned that is the number of shares only must be given. So this one it is to be also correct one. This one also correct one, clear. Third one, that is the face value of the shares only should be given. This one it is also clear. So all the above here is to be correct one. So option number D will be the answer, clear. Option number D will be the answer. So you are able to answer this question only if you have read this line, clear. These two lines, if you are able to go through very well, so you are able to answer the question in the examination, or in the meanwhile, I will say that you are able to score 1 marks, clear. You are able to score 1 marks, clear. That's why I'm focusing again and again. Kindly go through the study theory very well, clear. Kindly go through the theory very well. Only after that you are able to answer these questions. Now move to the next question. The memorandum of association of a company concludes with, clear. The memorandum of association of a company basically concludes with option number A, that is the capital clause stating the number of shares, clear. Stating the number of shares. Second one, that is declaration of subscription, clear. That is declaration of subscription that the persons who have their signatures intend to form an association, clear. Declaration of the subscription that the persons who have put their signatures, clear, that the persons who have put their signature intend to form an association. Third one, that is the objective clause mentioning the scope of the activities of the company. Fourth one, that is the liability clause stating the liability of the shareholders is to be limited. Clear? So this one, that is liability clause. Clear? What it tells, if the company is to be incorporated with the limited liability, clear, basically with the limited liability. So the liability clause must state that the liability of the members shall be limited by the unpaid amount on shares. Clear? Basically up to how much liability, that is by the unpaid amount on the shares. Clear? By the unpaid amount on the shares. So please tell fast, what will be the correct answer here? Please tell fast, basically what will be the correct answer here? So option number B is the correct answer. Basically, it concludes with the details declaration of the subscription that the persons who put have their signature intend to form the association. Clear? Intend to form the association. So option number B will be the answer. Clear? Basically, it will concludes with. So that is basically as per section 10 of the Companies Act 2013, that is subject to the provisions of this Act, Companies Act, the memorandum and articles shall, when registered, bind the company and the members thereof to the same extent, if they respectively had been signed by the company and by each member and contained covenants on its and his part to observe all the provisions of the memorandum and of the articles. Clear? Basically to observe all the provisions of the memorandum and of the articles. That is regarding this question. Next one. The articles of association contain which of the following information? Clear? The articles of the association basically contain which of the following information? First one, a registered office clause of the company. This one, it is mentioned under the article of association or not? Option number A, that is a registered office clause of the company. This is basically mentioned under the memorandum of association. Clear? So this one is to be wrong here. Option number B, basically what it tells, that basically set of the rules, regulation and bylaws. Clear? Basically set of the rules, regulation and bylaws made by the company basically for internal management. Clear? Basically if there are any rules and regulation are to be formulated basically for the internal management. Clear? So that is to be mentioned under the article of the association. Clear? That is to be basically mentioned under the article of the association. So option number B will be the correct answer here. Clear? Option number B will be the correct answer. That is the set of rules, regulation and the bylaws. Clear? Set of rules, regulation and the bylaws made by the company. Clear? That is to be made by the company basically for what? For the internal management. Clear? That is for the internal management. Okay. So 2 to 3 questions here left with that. So which we have to cover in the next session. Clear? In the next session, tomorrow we will discuss chapter number 28D also. Clear? 28D also. And I request all of you kindly go through the slides. And tomorrow we will discuss this question with a little bit speed more. Okay. So thanks to all of you for joining this question. And please go through the theory portion very well. All these are theoretical topics. Clear? All you have to go through the theory first of all. Only after that you are able to get the revision of these points. So thanks to all of you for joining this session.